she and I are on night and day on many, many things. And so we could have talked about single-payer health care. Nancy Pelosi says that ain't going to happen. Single-payer health care is not going to happen on her watch. Yeah, God forbid everybody in this country has a health insurance. The war. You know, Nancy Pelosi says out of the side of her Botox mouth that she's against the war. But what did she do for the past 2 weeks? The past 2 weeks she's been consumed by getting enough Democratic votes to pass the latest war funding bill. Because every Republican was going to vote against it. But so she needed almost every Democrat to vote for it. And torture. Nancy Pelosi was briefed on torture in 2002. And that was a big deal a few weeks ago, but my campaign made that a big deal in, December of 2007 when we found that out. You know, we seriously believed that the people of San Francisco wouldn't support somebody who condoned torture. We thought that they wouldn't support somebody who was protecting George Bush from impeachment, from accountability. And then when we found out that in September of 2007 she was briefed on torture, and the only thing we don't know, we know she was briefed on waterboarding. The only thing we don't know is if it was in September of 2002 or March of 2003. So there's just a 6 month where she either knew about waterboarding or didn't know about waterboarding. But in that 6 months, how many people were waterboarded? You know, and how many lives were changed because of her silence on the subject. And her excuse for not, I don't want to make this all about Nancy Pelosi. I'm trying to put that all behind me and not dwell on it, but how can we? We can't. So her excuse is, I swore an oath to secrecy. Well, she was the ranking member on the House Intelligence Committee. Do you know what the House Intelligence Committee is supposed to do? Have oversight over the intelligence community. And so if they come and brief them on something illegal, then they should be able to, torture's illegal. You know, torture's illegal internationally and nationally. Yeah. So they should have been able to put the brakes on that. And if they couldn't, then she should have come out and told the country what George Bush and Dick Cheney and the CIA were planning on doing. And if you swear an oath to secrecy that can lead to prison, for me, I'd rather be in prison than know my silence was responsible for so much pain and heartache and so many lives lost. When there was a big controversy on the torture photos, they said, well, we can't release the torture photos because that would, I don't know sometimes whether to laugh or cry. That would harm our soldiers in the field if they release the torture photos. First of all, our soldiers shouldn't be in the field. You know, they're there, and having them in the field at all is what's harming them. Secondly, it's not the photos, it's the torture. You know, many photos have been released outside of the United States. Some were released inside of the United States. Many have been released outside of the United States, and I can guarantee you that not